This is Takeshi Izuka. He's credited as a creative officer in this IGN interview, but looking on the Wikipedia page for Sonic Team, he has another credit as studio head. I make note of this to say that he is speaking with a high amount of authority on the design choices of Sonic Frontiers. Izuka begins by saying that Sonic Frontiers was born from a self-imposed challenge by Sonic Team to create a new 3D action-based Sonic title that will give players high levels of freedom they haven't seen before in previous games. So it seems the choice to design Sonic Frontiers as an open world game is a natural solution to that challenge. What Sonic Frontiers has shown in regard to open world design is a vast, traversable terrain that is littered with these optional racetracks above the ground. You can see them in the top right of this image. They appear as squiggly lines on the horizon. Some are even paired with large tower-like structures that have internal rails as part of the racetrack. I mainly want to address these racetracks in reference to Izuka's interview. Izuka goes on to mention that Sonic Team felt limited in their ability to innovate with the linear format of 3D Sonic games. I find this statement interesting because it sounds in a way like an admission that Sonic Team ran out of ideas and are potentially chasing an open world design as a gimmick or last resort. This challenge that has put Sonic Team to task gives way to an approach Izuka defines as taking the linear design of previous 3D Sonic games and building the open world around that linear core. So visually, I'm imagining Sonic Frontiers design as an egg, with the yolk being all the systems of design that are ubiquitous and interchangeable between previous 3D Sonic games. The white of the egg is composed of every new idea driving this vision for an open world in which Sonic can be free to explore with an emphasis on action. Unfortunately, I don't think this egg analogy does Sonic Frontiers any favors. Just like an egg keeps its yolk separate from the egg white, Sonic Frontiers seems to have its open world elements harshly juxtaposed against that core of linear interactivity. That's where these racetracks play into this dichotomy. I presume that these tracks make up a large portion of optional content for Sonic to explore. There is the danger, however, of implementing optional content without an incentive to reinforce its existence. Sonic is seen here traversing one of these racetracks. He collects a 10-ring cache on the second platform, and then on the last platform collects a purple heart. If rings behave like previous Sonic games, then Sonic is simply grabbing a health pickup on these racetracks. As for the purple heart, it could either be a resource to improve Sonic's abilities or an expendable key to access locked areas of the open world. This may be similar to Elden Ring's Stone Sword keys. So, in terms of giving the player an incentive, these optional racetracks seem to hinge their worth on the desirability of how purple hearts will be used. If players deduce that the difficulty and progression of the open world is not affected by purple hearts, then the racetracks may fail as an implementation of the open world design Sonic Team is chasing. A similar thing can be said for the larger enemies residing in the open world, like this one, for example. Assuming it too is an optional spectacle, then whatever resources it yields when Sonic defeats it will determine if the fight was worth it at all. Railways that Sonic can grind on are consistently shown with purple rings above them. Sonic can jump into these rings and get a purple heart as he continues on the railway. With railways on the ground and racetracks in the sky, handing out purple hearts, it's shaping up like the hearts are the main commodity of the open world. More than that, the hearts could very well be the fulcrum on which the open world's appeal is judged. Will players, in this case, experience a natural magnetism to the purple hearts and want to keep exploring? Izuka invokes a comparison between Sonic Frontiers and other open world games, saying that most use a template of an RPG or action adventure experience and flavor that template with open world features. He sets Sonic Frontiers apart from his description of other open world games by saying Sonic Frontiers design originated in the 3D Sonic template, which is action oriented, and this template is being set in an open space to promote freedom. Izuka's claim that Sonic Frontiers is unique in its approach to open world design, I believe, does not hold water, unfortunately. This similar thread that runs through games like Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring is one in which they use their open world space as optional collectathons. What the player collects through exploration and combat gives them greater survivability when attempting to move through progression gates, which are locking access to the end of those games. With Elden Ring in particular, the gatekeepers are the game's mandatory bosses, and the fact the player must defeat them sets the tone for that game's difficulty. At least with what has been shown, Sonic Frontiers does not seem to be doing anything radical with its combat, exploration, nor its mandated gates of progression. These three pillars of design for any game are just a means to an end, but it's their quality of execution that gives one game a unique flavor that others don't have. Izuka reassures returning fans of Sonic that Frontiers will include stages and spectacle that will play like previous 3D Sonic titles. I don't have much to say in regard to this except that these linear stages will live or die based on how well they are executed. Their quality of execution is even more important if these linear stages are annexed from the open world and not seamlessly integrated, like is the case with Elden Ring's catacombs that abruptly dead end and need an artificial warp point to return to its open world. The final topic I want to comment on is how Izuka sets the stage for Sonic Frontier's story. He frames previous Sonic stories as a call to action. An inciting incident forces Sonic to appear on the scene and resolve the latest calamity his villains are conducting. However, the island Sonic is marooned on has left him in the dark. He has many questions to answer. Who are his villains? Where are his friends? How does he escape the islands? Frontiers wants to attract players to a mystery that both they and Sonic will unravel at the same time. This is a strong premise, and not unlike Link recovering his memory in Breath of the Wild, or Elden Ring players learning through other tarnished NPCs what it is to become the next Elden Lord. Still, the use of a mystery to attract players must be considered in the context of Sonic specifically as a protagonist. To do this, I want to briefly check Sonic Frontiers against the premise of the original Sonic the Hedgehog. In the original, the environment is made unstable by Dr. Robotnik's industrialization. Marble Zone has active lava flows. Green Hill Zone is a pitted landscape as a result from what could be strip mining. The wildlife has been captured and encased in Dr. Robotnik's automatons that roam the environment as surveillance. Sonic takes up the charge to free his friends. It's a simple task, but only one that Sonic is capable of doing because he's the fastest hedgehog alive. He's fast enough to evade his own capture and traverse the new dangerous landscape with ease. Finally, by reaching the end of the stage, Sonic has removed Dr. Robotnik's influence and defeated his sentinels so the environment can return to normal given time. The Sonic of this game has a clearly defined purpose. With his unparalleled speed, Sonic gains a great deal of focus on what he wants to accomplish. He becomes this unstoppable force against his villain. Dr. Robotnik knows he can't stop Sonic, and Sonic knows that Dr. Robotnik knows this. So Sonic lays on the attitude while making quick work of his enemies. This whole package in a nutshell is why Sonic has endured for 3 decades. Yet, if Sonic Team rolls in a mystery to the mix of a Sonic story, it's not so different than hiding someone's car keys from them. What does that person do when they can't find their car keys? They stop, they look around, they slow down, and Sonic is not known for being slow. If Sonic doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing, who he's fighting for, and whether or not his enemies stand in direct opposition to him helping his friends. If the open world does not compel immediate action from our hero, will Sonic Frontiers be able to attract players to that premise? I'm not in any way a Sonic fan. I don't have a single game under my belt as far as finishing one goes, but the idea of an open world Sonic game does appeal to me if done right. I hope that idea can come to fruition, and it would be great if Sonic Frontiers is that manifestation. Unfortunately, from this interview with Takashi Iizuka, I think Sonic Team needs a change of approach if they're going to please fans and make a game that is remembered for doing something unique. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you're not subscribed and not signed into YouTube, consider bookmarking this channel to return later.